before we came out here, Eric was saying, this is the loudest bunch of people we've had so far. Just in case you didn't know it, these are the die-hard people in Phoenix. These are the everybody else is home. Tomorrow you're going to tell all your friends, man, you blew it. The coolest thing we're going to do now, one of the cool things with these conventions, we've had weddings at the conventions, we've had all kinds of things go on. The most important thing is, this is your night. You got your cameras, you got your camcorders, use them, use your tape recorders. You got questions for us, that's what we're here for. We want to talk to you. Out there are two women or two farm animals. Somebody's going to be out with microphones.
Hey, Paul, get him to turn up the lights, man, so we can
You want
see.
Let's put the lights on. Let's put the lights on so we can see us. This isn't even fair to us because you can kind of see us, but we can't see you, and we want to see you. Turn the lights on. Turn the house lights.
Wrong lights. Wrong lights. House lights. Wrong lights.
House lights.
Favorite song of all time that you guys recorded? It's a good question. Favorite song? Maybe Deuce, not because it's the best song, but I used to start off the set with that song, and whenever I hear Paul start off with bam, bam, my heart would race, and after that it was Take No Prisoners,
Who's got the mic? Don't steal it.
For all of you, I really thought the cover band was terrific, and I was wondering, how did you help them? How did you find them? And what went on with all that?
There's one over there, Paul Stanthony.
There's no greater honor for us than the kind of devotion. Everybody knows that a lot of bands say, oh, they've got the best fans, but fans are always measured by how they stand next to you. There are Kiss fans that put together these really great tribute bands. Cold Gin, Alive, Dressed to Kill Strutter, all these bands. We don't do anything. We just enjoy seeing them as much as you do. We have nothing to do with any of these bands. It's really up to them to do what they want to do. So, I mean, whether the bands are playing our songs or whether you're going out and getting your tattoos of the logo or our faces, it's awesome for us, man. For sure.
To Paul and Gene, what really happened with Ace?
And when? Which time?
When he wasn't loaded. 1982.
Oh, you gotta be more specific. Do you know something we don't?
Was it a mutual agreement? Like,
how he
did he quit or?
Really funny because there was at one time there seemed to be a lot of interviews where we were it seemed like we were kind of like backbiting a lot. And the truth of the matter is, at that point, Ace did an interview in the last couple of years saying how he would have stayed in the band had he been asked, And I spoke to Ace after that, and I said, are you out of your mind? I said, don't you remember, I drove up to Connecticut, we spent a whole day together. I asked you 50 times to stay in the band, and you said you couldn't. And Ace said to me, I was so fucked up at that point. I was drinking so much. I was doing so many drugs. I don't even remember anything that happened. And we just spent a good day, 2 days actually, with Peter Criss in Los Angeles. He was at the KISS convention, and he sat and did a couple of songs with us. And Peter and Ace are the first people to come clean with you at this point and tell you, I mean, if you want to see how fucked up and how, drugs and alcohol can ruin something, look what it did to those guys. I mean, they're sorry for what they did. Peter was apologizing to us, saying, he never meant to fuck things up, because he fucked it up for himself too. So Ace left the band, but we wanted him to stay. But in truth, it probably worked out better that he left, because he was either going to kill himself or ruin the band at that point. So,
In other words, he drank every once in a while.
no, once in a while he drank water.
Don't ever mistake any of, look, this sort of laying the truth out clearly and finally doesn't in any way lessen the fact that we love both Ace and Peter. Anybody that's been in the band, they're always going to be a part of the family. It's just that they don't live home anymore, that's all. Like you, right? You live home, but you're still part of the family. That's right.
Hey Gene, how many Polaroid pictures do you really own?
3,946.
How come Ace's face wasn't featured on the Kiss My Ass cover?
I've been answering this a lot, so Gene's going to answer it today.
Okay, we all know each other's phone numbers. Ace knows ours, we know. In other words, we talk to each other every once in a while, and sometimes we go to dinner. And we talk about the same things you do with friends that you haven't seen in a long time. We did get when this Kiss My Ass record was being put together, and there were literally like 80 bands that wanted to get involved, everybody from Nine Inch Nails to Ozzy Osbourne and Stone Temple Pilots in the world. It was no secret in the record industry that it was happening. Towards the very end, when the packaging was being put together, a lawyer who we'd never heard of, or knew of, his name in the record business, called us and said that he represented Ace Frehley. We suspected the motives, didn't really believe that he did or did not, and figured Ace never called us, so we're just going to take care of our business and make sure that there's nobody who's going to make any legal grounds. We can do whatever we want anyway, but we know that if Ace had anything to say, he'd pick up the phone and call us. So we simply made sure that there was nobody who was going to have any legal legs to stand on, and changed it. At the same time, for ourselves, not for you, and not for the record company, for ourselves, we were clear about how we felt about Ace and Peter. We wrote a personal message saying, in essence, without the four of us, there would never have been a Kiss. That's as far as our moral and ethical obligation goes, to tell the truth. But if there's a legal problem, if somebody comes knocking at your door and is trying to get in, you lock the door. We lock the door.
In other words, we wouldn't kiss a lawyer's ass. Ace and Peter or Gene, I mean, all of us can call each other. If you have a problem with your best friend, you don't have somebody else call and say, he wants me to tell you. It just doesn't work like that. If Ace had a problem, he knew how to reach us, and he knows what happened and why it happened. But he also knows that without the two guys who aren't here, without Peter and Ace, we wouldn't be here today. The four of us started this. And everything that goes on is a result of what happened in the past.
Gene,
Yes.
Eric, Paul, and Bruce, I'd just like to know if I can give this painting to you that I made for you.
Wow.
I mean, I just want if you accept it. As a kid, I love you guys, and on behalf of me, Arturo, Oscar, my brother, and the #1 fans here in Phoenix and of the world, I made this for you.
So great. Very cool. Look at that. Look at that t-shirt. Stand up and show everybody your t-shirt. That is so cool.
to be any further development of the Rockheads cartoon that Eric Carr started. I know there's some pictures out there, but maybe as a further tribute to him.
Yeah, that was something that his family left for us to have. You know, I mean, it's really Eric's family, but, you know, he wanted us to, it was his wishes really for us to kind of have it, to maybe do something with it. I think the best thing we could do with it really is to have a chance for you people at the conventions to see what that was about. I know Gene knows certain people in the business. It's very difficult to sell something like that. You can't imagine how hard it is to get an animated cartoon series off the ground. I mean, you know how hard it is just to do any kind of TV show or movie.
It was pretty much based on Eric. I mean,
yeah, what was funny about it was that big scruffy hair thing was really him and some of his girlfriends in his band. And I don't know, in a way, maybe he was like, you know, he was ahead of his time with that whole thing, but it's been kind of difficult because, you know, like metal kind of stuff like that, it's kind of strange to corporate people who do Saturday morning TV shows, you know. But I think at least for now, the fact that the people that come to the conventions get a chance to see the stuff up close is what's going to happen with it. And who knows down in the future, we'll see.
Fuck it, let's make a Kiss cartoon, man.
We should have our Saturday morning cartoon show.
You know, it got as serious as a meeting with Joe Barbera from Hanna-Barbera, who was considering doing the Rockettes, but it just didn't happen.
Okay, first of all, I want to tell you guys, I think you guys are the most beautiful thing to happen to rock and roll. Second of all, I heard speculation that you guys are going to retour with the makeup. Is that true?
it's an interesting, we always understand, you know, when people start to get excited about that idea, it's really not appealing to us. I mean, we have such great feelings about the past that the idea of us putting on the makeup again, I'm doing that. It's a special effect. The idea of putting on the makeup just to recreate something, our hearts wouldn't be in it. I mean, if we lie to ourselves, we're lying to you. And just because we would go out with the original band, it wouldn't be the same thing unless the chemistry was there. If we were just doing it for a big buck, I mean, there's a lot of money to be made doing that, but we could never do that with a clear conscience. Otherwise, we're no different. We were just in Vegas last night, and if we do that kind of show and don't believe in it, we might as well be up there going, "Baby, how you doing?" Or something. It's called Strutter, or something like this. So, unless we could really find a reason to do it in our hearts instead of our wallets, we couldn't do it. And it's not because we're trying to forget the past, it's because the past means so much to us.
This question's for Paul. I was wondering, why did you decide to change your band makeup in the early days and change it to a star?
Actually, I always had the star makeup. And Neil Bogart, who was the president of Casablanca Records, for some reason, when he first saw the band, thought that I should look, he thought I didn't look macho enough. He said, "Don't dance around, don't jump up on stage, you should walk around the stage like this." And I said, "Okay, I'll give it a shot. Yeah, heavy foot, and you should walk around real." I'm saying, "But I jump up and I do splits." And, "No, you shouldn't do, just walk around the stage." So I said, okay, and I changed the makeup. We did one photo session with it, and that's the one that you see in the Kiss Street books, and you've seen in some magazines. I went right back to the other makeup. I said, "You know something? If you can't buy me the way I am, then maybe you should kiss my ass."
Somebody's having a conniption.
Would you make a comment on your relationship, if in fact you felt it was a relationship years ago with Diana Ross?
Been there, done it.
My friend and I just drove from Mexico to get out here.
Wow.
And I just want to ask you guys to please add Altitude to your next concert. We really appreciate it out there.
We're planning on, somebody said to us today, you know, why don't you play this city or why don't you play that one? It's really hard for us sometimes to decide on cities. And sometimes, you know, depending upon what the last show we did like in that city was like, sometimes it's baffling to us. You know, people say, oh, you got to come here, it's going to be awesome. And there's been, I think on the last tour, there was probably 1 or 2 shows where we went into a city and kind of went, where is everybody? And I mean, it's so weird to us. So I promise you we'll be in Albuquerque, and I promise you we'll be here.
You know, you're allowed to say who you are. We'd love to find out what your name is.
And your phone number.
My name's Vanessa, and my sister, when I was younger, my sister always listened to you guys all the time, and that's all you hear when my mom left the door down with the radio. And I was just wondering, when you guys got together, did you ever think you guys would be this popular and stay together this long?
Never. I mean, you know, the whole idea when we started out, I mean, we were amazed that we actually put out an album. You know, I mean, that was so awesome to us. It was actually scary to us when it came time to do a second album because where were we going to get the songs? We hoped, I know I hoped, if the band could be together 5 years, it would have been awesome. But now when people say, you know, you see it lasting another 5 years or whatever, there's no end in sight. We're really just gearing up because it just gets better and better.
Right now? Well, always for me, I'm always thinking guitarist, and I'm always thinking Jimi Hendrix for some reason. Now, next. No, next person.
Oh, me? There's loads of cool stuff out there. I think live is really, really awesome. Stone Temple Pilots, that's Pantera's. What do you like? Yeah, awesome. My favorite. Like them too.
I'll take my Gene's answer. No, probably Alice in Chains is my favorite band. And I like a lot of the other bands like Stone Temple Pilots. Got some cool stuff. Cranberries, Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails.
These guys do this to me all the time. I have my favorite art. Usually it's Paul who steals my answer, but it was going to be, I think Trent Reznor's got his hands and feet on that. Because anybody who puts more, look, everybody's making very interesting music, but this guy Reznor goes out on stage and gives you more. He gives you a show, and for me, that's the highest compliment as a member of the audience. Anybody who cares enough to give you more on stage is good.
I just want to say that my fiance passed away a couple weeks ago and was a total diehard fan of yours. And I never had a chance to mail this as a letter to the family. It was
I get choked up, I can't read this. I don't want you to see me turn to mush. I mean, not to take that lightly, but, you know, it's awesome, you know. It's awesome. Bob Nolan.
No. It says, Dear Paul, it was the Polygram. I guess he was trying to get through the record company. Dear Polygram, how are you? Okay, let's get to the point. I love Kiss more than you can imagine. I've been listening to KISS since 1975, and I'm only 25 years old. All I would like you to do is send me any new information you can, such as new album releases, etc. And a listing of all major cities where a KISS convention would take place and how I can find out when they are going to take place. If anybody reads this letter, thank you very much, and he underlines it. Sincerely, Robert. And it's a KISS. I forgot to mention that I am an original KISS Army member.
Our 28th album is going to be coming out soon. Probably.
Define soon!
We hope. I'm sorry?
Define soon, please.
I don't know what he said, but it sounded good.
It sounded like Divine Soup.
I said define soon! Give me a date! When?
Probably, we're going to finish it up. I'm sorry?
Give it up!
Okay. We're going to try to finish it before September. It'll hopefully be out by November, December. But I don't know if you know it yet, but you, and that means all of you, put us in this position. We're about to tie the Beatles for the second all-time.
Turn around. That's from July 24th to 25th at Madison Square Garden. What year was that?
77.
77.
Yeah, I was.
Wow.
Turn around.
That's Elwood out there, right?
Thank you.
Your answer. Nice t-shirt. Very handsome and powerful man on the t-shirt.
We're glad you can be here. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Gene, over here.
Hey, loved you, dead or alive, with Rutger Hauer.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
When I was going to school in Bonnie, we never got a chance, I don't think you guys ever came to Bonnie when I was growing up, so we never got a chance to see it.
We were in Hawaii. We were in Hawaii in '76 at the Blaisdell Arena. The promoter was, and yeah, we were there.
There was like one
9,500, I remember.
There was one other guy besides myself in high school who was a Kiss fan. And everybody else thought we were nuts. He's like, oh, who cares? But what I want to know is on a lighter note, nothing heavy. Did you actually have surgery on your tongue to make it longer? Everybody always
No, I was just born.
Oh, no problem. I'll come back. Yeah, I'll come back.
each other a second ago.
3 years ago, you guys came here and you played a club date over at Apple. I mean, I want to sit there and thank you guys so much for doing something like that. Have you ever considered maybe doing that again?
Anything.
That was so intimate.
And we love being intimate. Anytime we can break down those kind of barriers, it's boring if all you are is like an arena band. You know, that's the easy stuff to do. We want to break down those barriers, whether it's going into clubs, whether it's doing conventions, whether it's doing the Kiss-Street book. I don't know how many of you people saw the Marvel comic Kiss Classic. Shut up over there. The only person who gets to talk that much has the microphone right now. I don't know how many people have seen Kiss Classics, which was the first 2 original Marvel comics that have been put together. What we're about to do is Kiss Nation, which is going to be a brand new comic book. The first one is being written by Stan Lee, which will be X-Men. And the cover was painted by Ken Kelly, who did the Love Gun painting and the Destroyer painting. And it's going to be an awesome comic book, but even more important, the rest of the comic book is going to be a magazine that you are going to write the articles for. The whole magazine is going to be made up of stuff that Kiss fans have to say. We don't want to just talk to you one-on-one like this. We're going to give you a magazine. If you have paintings that you do, if you have pictures of tattoos, if you have articles you've written, this is going to be your magazine. And it's going to be called Kiss Nation.
Oh, can I just say one more thing?
Yes.
Aside from the fact that when you stripped down that show, and it was just you and us, that just proved to me once again and re-emphasized the fact that you guys absolutely kick ass live.
And before we move on, you know, there's a great painting over there. And you could do us a favor, take a good photo of that, send it into Kiss Nation, Care of Marvel Comics. Any Marvel comic book is in, and it's in the magazine. It's yours.
You know something good is coming when they go, I don't want to put you on the spot. But, okay, put me on the spot. Go ahead. The microphone is yours. Don't get greedy, take the whole thing.
Mike still depicts too. Go
ahead.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but here's the thing. About 5 years ago, I met you on the Hot in the Shade Tour in a hotel. And I asked if I could have a photograph of you and me, and you said, hey, don't worry about it, I'll catch you later. I'm just not set now. Later never came.
Later is right now. I thought he was going to say something like, I don't want to put you on the spot, but remember my girlfriend? Hey, take care of it. Okay. Who's got the mic? Right over there.
Gentlemen, I've been a Kiss fan since I was in the 7th grade. That was 20-some billion years ago.
Is that an original t-shirt?
No, I had one and somebody stole it in this 8th grade, and I wasn't big enough to think the rest. There are so many millions of questions that all of us have, and I'm almost speechless right now, and that's rare for me. I love you guys. You guys have been the inspiration for my life. You have motivated me to do things that I never thought was possible. I've got so many questions that nobody ever gets to life again. You guys are the greatest. You're the most class act ever. Gene, Paul, Eric, Bruce. God love you. Thank you so much for everything. You guys are just the finest thing ever.
I'd like to say I've been a Kiss fan for 22 years, and the best show that I ever saw was Kiss Alive 2. And I wanted to know how you guys felt. What was your best Alive show that you liked that had everything in it? And another thing is, Eric Singer said he was going to sign my shirt, and he left. And I got my shirt! And I need it signed!
I told you we were going to sign everything after we're done.
Oh, okay. That's going to happen. But what was the best Alive show that you liked?
Probably for me, first time I played the Garden with the band. That was real exciting. Because I'm a New Yorker, tried and true. And that was just such a thrill. I've seen so many bands play Madison Square Garden. And I don't know if we were good, I think we were, but just me being there was a magical experience. It really was.
Get some dental floss and clean your mouth.
But we're just going down the line. We'll do anything you want.
You guys should be like in a sports booth commentating the event over here.
Favorite show, live show? The Kiss show. The show that we did in Rio was awesome. I mean, how many times does anybody get to play for 200,000 people? Especially, I mean, it's great when you hear about all these festivals with like 10 bands. It was just us. It was us and some local band. So when you get a chance to play for 200,000 people, and when it's really the end of an era, because those were the last shows that we did in makeup. So it was pretty awesome for us. Every show is special. That's no bullshit. I think everybody knows that we deliver when we go out on stage. We don't make excuses. We do 100%. But Rio was pretty awesome. I mean, that's one that stands out.
My favorite was probably 73 when you guys opened for the New York Dolls.
My favorite Kiss. He got thrown out. Eric was at a Kiss show in Cleveland, and he climbed up on the balcony and they threw him out.
And they had these, those little opera booths they had like on the sides, and there was like 2 or 3. They were supposed to be for like dignitaries. So I climbed up there when the lights went down. I climbed up, and then the security guys saw me, and I got like chucked down. So.
And Eric's going, "You don't understand. I'm going to join them one day."
Eric, I think that you're a fantabulous addition.
Fantabulous, that's a new word.
You're an awesome addition to this band, and I'd like to know, what did you do or say to convince the rest of the band to keep your blonde hair? I love it.
Really nothing. Well, actually, Gene goes fantabulous. That's a nice word you made out. That's kind of like gigantors. Actually, they just never really became an issue. The only people who made an issue was a few fans kind of said, "Oh, they got a blonde guy in Kiss." But they just said, "Hey, things always change and bands evolve, and that's where we're at."
An awesome drummer. There you are.
Thank you.
Well, we agree with you, so we're dyeing our hair blonde.
Over here.
Okay, where?
Alright, first of all, I want everybody to sit down during the acoustic set, otherwise no one back here can see. And 2, when you're talking about favorite bands or bands that you guys like, I don't know, maybe you should check out a band called Marilyn Manson, because they're the Nine Inch Nails.
I know Marilyn Manson.
We saw them.
Actually, Gene saw them.
They are the best band I've ever seen next to Kiss.
Yeah, went to see them in Los Angeles, and all the guys. Basically, it was a second coming. We went back to say we enjoyed the show, and they were practically on their knees. You don't understand, if it wasn't for Kiss and so on. The same story.
Yeah, he loves Marilyn. He loves you guys. I know him real well.
And again, any band that gets up there that does good music but takes it a step further is our kind of band.
You should take him out on tour. The next, there's a crazy.
Yeah, actually, the guy in Marilyn Manson gave Gene, that thing, that rubber dip thing he wears.
Yeah.
Gene gave it, I gave it to my nephew.
And I'm sure he'll use it, but...
It spins.
Yeah. I'm trying to slowly but surely get rid of a lot of the stupid rumors. So the biggest rumor I've ever heard, it's the most ridiculous one, is that in 1979, you guys actually did a show where Peter Criss was too wasted to
play and you had Anton Fig or somebody play a show, is there any truth to that? I know it sounds ridiculous, but a lot of people just here today were talking about it, and I'm like, that's so stupid, but I need to know.
No one's ever been on stage at a concert with us except who you thought you were seeing, or the people that you've seen on stage.
Yeah.
When I did Kiss Meets the Phantom, though, that great film. When we did that film, actually, there were scenes that Peter and Ace were not in because they decided they didn't want to be there at that time. So there's one scene that's really great. If you have the disc, the video disc, or the cassette of it, when we're in the Chamber of Horrors or the dungeon or whatever that thing was, the two guys behind Gene and I, Ace was a black stuntman with a wig on, and Peter was Peter's stunt double. So if you watch it and you look, it's hysterical because it's neither one of them. And there were other scenes. There's one scene where Peter's playing the drums on stage during a concert, and it's this like 60-year-old bald guy chewing gum, with cat makeup painted on. And you don't know what it's like. They got him in and didn't tell me. So we're, a couple of the takes we did, we were lip syncing. We were just playing along with music after we'd done the concert. And you're playing, and you turn around, you see this old guy. And you think, did somebody slip me something? There's this old man with cat makeup sitting behind the drum kit.
Incidentally, for the record, the reason he was there is because Peter just walked off. It was not the best of times. In fact, the solo records, the idea for them were born there, when both Ace and Peter, who knows why, were wanting to sort of self-destruct and wanted to go do solo records and leave the band. So sometimes they just walk off the set.
I haven't.
My name's Joe Alders. My girlfriend's name is Sheila Dempsey. We love you guys. You're great. I thought both the clinics were excellent. And the real question is I'm dropping like $500-600 there on memorabilia, and I want to know if you guys can help me out.
But you've already got a girlfriend.
Out of the mannequins, how much do they weigh? And how long did it take you to learn how to walk?
The average weight of those boots, you mean the ones with the pretty faces on the bottom of the shoes? They're not ugly, they're beautiful. Big teeth. They weigh about anywhere from 11 to 14 pounds, depending which one, each one of them. And the total weight of the outfits, of the heavier ones later on, around 79 or so, 50, 60 pounds. They look real comfortable. You try picking up that stuff. Even if it's just a simple leather and studs outfit, those studs are real studs, not the modern day stuff. And they weigh just a ton.
This question's for Gene or Paul. I want to test your memories a bit. I'm from a little town back in Michigan called Cadillac.
Yeah.
You guys showed up there and changed my life. Was there any reason for that other than that? I mean,
Other than to change your life?
Yeah.
We actually went there. Cadillac High had a football team.
You landed in a helicopter.
That's right. You can tell the story.
Okay. Kids came into town, landed in a helicopter in the high school football field, came out, and the drum set up in the grass. Gene stood on top of a limousine on the lit fire. High school auditorium. When they left town, they left in the helicopter, blew autographs all over this little town of 10,000 people in northern Michigan. It affected my life.
We also had the mayor and all the politicians.
Chills
Kiss
right
me.
now.
The reason we went to Cadillac was because Cadillac High had a football team that went from last place to first place by playing Kiss music in the locker room before they went on, just to get and they went from worst to first. So we figured we would go in and give them a good pat on the shoulder, pat on the butt.
So far, I have visited your guys' show 3 times. I'm originally from Brewster, Washington. I traveled 1,700 miles to be here today. there any chance in hell that I can trade shirts with you?
You can trade shirts with me? How far you have to go?
I'll go as far down your chest is too.
You know, as much as I want to see your chest, I don't really want to give this away, but I'll get you a Kiss t-shirt. I'll get you a Kiss t-shirt.
I'll give it to her.
And I also wanted to know, is there any way that I can also have a picture with you?
Sure. But it'd probably be better. You know, I got a feeling most people here have a story about why they're here, how long it took them to get here. So after we do the unplugged part, we're going to try to make everybody happy and sign whatever we can and take pictures. And just get ready to take off your top. But yeah, we'll try to sign everything for everybody. We'll try to take pictures and do whatever you want.
Guys, just wanted to say you're my favorite band. I grew up with you guys. Been a Minuteman for 15 years. Basically, I had a question for Gene. Gene, the past couple of years, you've been basically saying that you were disappointed with most of the records you put out in the 80s. And I got to say that it took a lot of courage for you to say that, considering that, you know, a lot of the fans did buy the 80s records. What made you decide to come clean with yourselves and admit that it wasn't as quality-oriented as much as you did in the 70s?
Well, I don't think, looking back at your past or my past, that if you don't like every single year of your life, it necessarily negates the fact that while you were doing it, you loved it. Aren't there years in your life where you've got photos of yourself that you won't show anybody? Aren't there times when you think, God, I look like a complete dweeb, you know? But at the time that you were living that part of your life, you thought you were cool. So I'm not saying that there was any dishonesty at any point in our career. We really believed at the time we were doing it. It's just that certain periods in retrospect, you know, the test of time come out cool and I go, yeah, I'm proud of that now that I look back on it. And I'm just trying to be honest. I like certain years of KISS a lot more than others. And, you know, I'm sure you're the same. At certain points in your life, you like certain parts of your life a lot more than others.
Incidentally, I love Deuce, but another thing, my brother could not be here tonight because he had passed away on April 2nd due to a seizure disorder he had at night. And basically, the past few KISS concerts I attended, I showed up in your makeup at all the past few shows I've been to. And I have pictures of those, and I'd love it if you would autograph them and make a song dedication to him tonight. We both would love to hear Hard Luck Woman.
Well, I promise you. What was his name?
His name is Mike Tapia.
To Mike. We'll make sure we'll play Hard Luck Woman tonight.
Okay. I'm originally from New York City. Love you guys. From 73, I've been a fan. Moved out to Tucson, not by choice, but I still love the place. My problem is I have a hard time finding out when you guys come from Phoenix, come around to Albuquerque or California. We don't find out anything. I hound the radio stations. There's several bands that are from Tucson here. Hound them. Say, hey, give us information. Play KISS. Do it. We don't know where to call, where to go to find out.
Everybody knows it's not always easy being a KISS fan because you take all kinds of shit, although you people ultimately know that you're right. Everything always works out.
Yeah.
We've got KISS Nation, which will be one way. There's also America Online. We have KISS Nation there, where we'll be, you know, posting all the information on tours. The magazine we're putting out is going to be another way. We're going to find as many ways as possible to stay in touch with you. You know, waiting for radio stations or anybody else to do us a favor, to do you a favor. We don't need those people. I mean, we were here before most of those people. We're going to be here after them. So all we need is you and us, and we'll make sure we get all the information.
Where are we? Here we go. Phoenix.
Dean and Paul, no speak English.
No hablo en español muy bien, pero comprendo tus sentimientos.
¿Cuándo regresan a México? Are you going back for Mexico?
When are we going back to Mexico? Mexico City. We were, for those of you that don't know, the last year we headlined the Monsters of Rock soccer stadium shows throughout South America and stopped in Mexico City. And we had a great time. Then we went to Japan and Australia, and we will be back in Mexico and all over the world. Every year we will go out on tour.
This question is for Gene and Paul. I was in Alaska, I was born in Alaska and everything, and I went to the War Machine tour when you guys had Eric Carr up there, and as a matter of fact, my mom brought me down to Chicago to come see it.
Wow.
She, I guess you guys played in 1974 up in Alaska.
Anchorage and Fairbanks.
And you played at West High School, I believe, if you remember that.
No, I believe it was outdoors at the
We did
Was it outdoors?
Air Force Center.
Well, that was indoors. There was an armory and then there was a drive-in theater that we did outdoors. Yeah, it was like a big.
Yeah, you're right. It was the Armory. Which one, Fairbanks?
No, that was in Anchorage.
Oh, yeah. You know, we're talking about 74. I'll tell you who the new was. Savoy Brown, Manfred Mann, and the Clairol girl introduced us. Anyway, I'll shut up.
No, anyways, I just wanted to say that at that time I was only 9 years old, and
Us too.
my mom took me there, and when she was talking to everybody, she was like, well, you know, what do you want for Christmas and everything like that, and so they gave me a chance to go. She flew me to Chicago for Christmas just to come see you guys.
You got a great mom.
And when I went there, I'll never forget this. We pulled into the parking lot, and you know, my brother was with me. He's my older brother, and we pulled in, and the guy says to us, "Are you guys in the right place?"
Fuck it.
He was like, "Are you guys in the right place?" And I'll never forget this. My mom said, "Are you in the right fucking place?"
That's right.
Go ahead, Paul.
You know, it's amazing. You know, we hear these stories from you people, and we could bore you by telling you it goes both ways. You know, the feelings that we have for you people are awesome. I mean, you allowed us to do this for over 20 years, and we can't say enough thanks to you.
My name is Patrick, and
Hi, Patrick.
How you doing? I've seen you guys 3 times in Detroit, and to show you how big of a Kiss fan I am, in December of '85, you were in Detroit, when it was about 20 below out. My father, before the show, we had a broken down car, didn't make it to the show, and he fixed a broken radiator, got us to the show, had never seen you guys in concert, and he took me for my birthday present. He said, no matter what, we're going to make it to this show. I mean, in freezing cold weather, and after the concert, he said, you know, Patrick, I've always seen those guys on TV, but never live, but they kicked ass. I just wanted to know, what was it about Detroit that motivated you to write the song Detroit Rock City? You've always given us great shows there.
What motivated? I mean, obviously, you know, before we were big anywhere, when we were an opening act all around the country, we were 3rd on the bill. For some reason, Detroit really caught on to us before anybody else. We were headlining shows in Detroit way before any place else. And I just thought, you know, Detroit really deserved a song that kind of tipped the hat to them. And once I started writing it, I thought, you know, it's got to be more than just a song about the city. And when we were on tour, we had been down south, and we were doing a show in North Carolina, and right outside the arena, one of our fans got killed coming to the show. And I just thought, you know, how weird, you know, some people are on their way to have a great time and they just never make it. So, you know, that's really what Detroit Rock City was about, was combining the 2 things and also saluting the first city that really caught on to us in a big way. That's not worth clapping.
You've got a cool dad. We just want to say that. Anybody that would go to that show to make his son happy is just a good person. Cool dad.
Guys, greetings from El Paso, Texas. Just want to let you all know, I guess this says it all.
But I did want to ask, I know in a lot of interviews that y'all have done, Gene especially, that you've mentioned that you're going to use Bob Ezra to get on the new studio album. And then I heard in Eric's drum clinic earlier that there's been a change. Did Bob decide he wanted to do another Elder?
No, Bob actually was in from the beginning. We love Bob. He's one of our pals, and he's one of the people whose opinions we trust. Actually, Bob X'd himself out of the project. We actually started working on this record many months back with Bob. Actually rehearsed, started working on the tunes, and all of us were just sort of going, these arrangements aren't really happening. And actually, Bob Ezrin himself said, you know what, I'm not contributing anything to this, and I don't want to hurt this. I'm going to draw back because you guys, are doing it a lot closer to, the vibe. I think he was recognizing something that was happening naturally in the band. So we're basically going to do the record ourselves with an engineer and co-producer. He's finishing off Alice in Chains now, and Ezrin's still there. He's just, he respects you, the record, and himself too much to do less than the best.
Okay, I came from all the way from Mexico to see you guys, and I've been a fan since 1981, and last year was my first concert there in Mexico City, and there was a part of the concert where Paul called Gene and said, look, there's a guy with the sweater with your face and makeup, and I was going to give it to Gene, but I thought it was going to get lost in the ground, and I just want to give it to you.
Yeah, hold it up. That's worth seeing. Who's got the mic?
I do, right here.
Right there. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd just like to say I happened to be working the door the day you guys played at After the Gold Rush in Tempe. I've been seeing you guys since I'm also from Queens. I've been watching you guys grow, as probably most of all of us have. I just always enjoyed leaving you guys a show with my head ringing for about a week.
We do our best.
My question is, you've made Kiss Alive 1 and 2 a double album. Was there any reason why you didn't make Kiss Alive 3 a double album?
Yes, and it's interesting because once people stop buying vinyl, I don't know about you people, we miss records because the thing that I used to look so forward to when I got an album was you had this big thing in front of you, you could open it, there was something cool inside, there was a love gun to pop, there was tattoos, there was all that cool stuff. Once it went to CDs and cassettes, it lost a lot. But in terms of putting out 2 discs for Kiss Alive 3, you have just as much time on a CD as you would on 2 discs. And the record company figured that if there were 2 CDs, we'd have to charge you more, and there was just no reason to do it. It wouldn't be the same as having one of the first, the Kiss Alive or Kiss Alive 2 packages, because we couldn't put things inside it. I'm waiting for the day we go back to vinyl, because every time you got an album, it was like Christmas, I miss that. So as soon as we can get back to that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can get it as a double record. They have it on vinyl here, but we just didn't think there was any reason. Yeah, that's so much cooler to look at to me than to get this little thing that's this big. So I sure hope they go back to vinyl.
Also, mentioned they're going to repackage and remaster the whole Kiss catalog on CD. The band is, why don't you tell them about it, Gene? The guy that did the study and...
There's a fan whose name is Robert Conti, who's a fanatic.
He's here, isn't he?
Is he here? No. He's actually been traveling around the conventions, going to everyone. And as you can tell, he's not here. But he did an exhaustive, 80-page overview of what's been wrong with the entire Kiss catalog, all 27 albums. He's found mistakes, printing, wrong tracks, wrong order, wrong times, the sound isn't so great, and so on. We took that study in and we went to the record company and said, our fans speak. Do this. So the record company, in reaction, is going to be re-releasing the entire catalog in the right way, with as much of the original stuff as possible, with as much of it, in this format as possible, because a KISS fan was brave enough to stand up and said, I don't think this is good enough. And he's right.
My name's Vicki. I just want to let you guys know that as a fan for close to 20 years here now, I've really appreciated that you've stood up for what you guys believe in. I mean, there are a lot of bands out there now that kind of, yeah, we're a cool band now, and continue to go away or whatever, but I really appreciate that you guys do have a good basic sense of morality, and I hope my kids are enjoying your music. And I just wanted to show you, my girlfriend and I, I've got 80,000 beads, at least on this. Your logo on the front, Revenge on the back.
Very cool.
I've got another one up in the car that I'm going to hopefully either give to somebody who can get it to you later that you guys can keep. That has Hot in the Shade on it in the back.
You're very cool.
Let's see it. Yabba dabba do. One of the coolest things I've ever seen anybody do. I don't think anybody does this. And I know there's a lot of guys in this group that want to either be Paul or Gene. And not to take care of Eric or Bruce, because those guys, you don't be in KISS, they should kick some ass. But actually, my question is to Paul and Gene, what has made you guys keep on keeping on, keep doing the thing? And what do you think about getting the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And besides the fact that I am an enormous KISS fan, I'm 75. But what keeps you guys going on, both of you and Paul?
It's too simple to say we enjoy doing it because it doesn't really touch what it's all about.
You guys been through a lot of stuff, a lot of years, a lot of ups and downs and stuff.
Every once in a while we speak from our hearts. I mean, real. We really touch it, and we read it back in an interview, and it really reads like cornball stuff. So I hope you can feel the truth.
Cornball's cool.
Yeah, it doesn't. People don't often get the emotion behind it. If somebody says "I like you" and you read it, it doesn't. You don't get the full impact of the meaning behind it. I hope you believe me when we tell you that the reason we do this is because of you.
I have no doubt, everybody. That's why people take it here today. Thank you anyways for being you guys this wow. It's bad. You guys keep on keeping on. What about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? What's up?
Not really interested. We have our own Rock and Roll Hall of Fame right here.
Look at that. Look at that arm. Look at that sleeve. That's awesome. I mean, I can see that from here.
That's very cool.
We need a photo of that from KISS Nation for the book. That's awesome.
He did it. He did the tattoo.
Nope. Awesome.
They should have had you do an ink work here. They had a guy in San Francisco doing KISS tattoos at the convention.
That's awesome.
Honestly, we weren't kidding. If you take a photo of that, send it in to us, Care of Marble. It'll be in the book. Make sure your name's on the back.
Your name will be in there too. That's just too cool.
I just want to ask you, you said you had one album away, we only have one album that did make gold. Which album was that?
The Elder.
Buy the album, guys. Come on, buy 5 or 6 of them. Give that whole album.
Just make it gold, then everyone will be gold.
It's interesting, the Elder is the one album that hasn't got gold, and it's an album that a lot of people love. The whole lot. We always had real mixed feelings about it, not whether or not it was a good album, but we just kind of felt that we did it for the wrong reasons. We were trying to impress journalists, we were trying to impress critics. We did it not because it was in our hearts, but because we felt this is a way to get recognition. Obviously, they couldn't give a rat's ass about it, and we tried to make the best album we could. We think it's a great album. We've always wondered whether or not it's really a great KISS album, but maybe tonight you'll hear a song from it.
How about over there? Hold on one second. Shh, quiet. Shh.
Okay.
How come you took off your makeup?
You know why? Sweetheart, the reason we took our makeup off is because you should never do anything you don't fully believe, no matter how popular it is. And when we first wanted to put makeup on, nobody believed in it, but we did, and they said, you're crazy, it's never going to work. But you know what, sweetheart? We put it on anyway because we believed it. And when we wanted to take the makeup off, those same people were saying, you're crazy, it's never going to work, don't take the makeup off. So you can't listen to people, you've got to listen to your own heart. But you know that, right? We're smart.
This question is for Gene and for Paul. Ever since the Oklahoma City bombing, all the bands have been asked to tone down their show, at least in Phoenix, as far as explosives and stuff go. What advice do you have for me and for the bands in this room, for these club owners who tell us to tone down a show and stop blowing stuff up in the room? Because it is a very important part of the impact of the show, which you guys created and we springboard on to help our show too. So
if you believe in what you're doing, find another place to play. When we first started out, clubs wouldn't let us play because we didn't do anybody else's songs. They wanted us to do, most of the bars said, you got to play 5 sets a night. We said we won't do it. So what we wound up doing is hiring out things like this, ballrooms in hotels. And we did it our way. We did the full show. We did whatever we wanted to.
You're saying do not explode on stage. Do not have any pyrotechnics of any kind.
In clubs?
In clubs.
Well, then don't play clubs. Then play in a place like this. Find a way. If something matters enough to you, you're going to make it happen. You know, obstacles are only there if you put them there. You know, if you know where you're going, you don't see the obstacles, you go that direction. So, I mean, when somebody says you can't do something, then you just find a way to either go around them or go through them.
Maybe there's a way to do both. Maybe there's a way to get up on stage and say something from your heart about the experience, you know, you feel for the loss and so on. And now we're going to entertain you. There's a difference between entertainment, in other words, being in a band, and making some political statement. Or should be, as far as we're concerned.
This question is for all 4 of you, actually. But it's kind of interesting what Gene was saying earlier about doing what you believe in. When we walked in here, a lot of people kind of stared at us like, okay, so whatever. But yeah, exactly. But I was, my question was because of the fact that when we started out here, people said the exact same thing. It's like, that's not going on. You guys are crazy. And people out here love it. Our first show, just because of our flyer, 200 people showed up. Our first show, just because they saw what we looked like. And I do want to thank the people out here in Arizona for doing that. And I was just wondering what, if like record companies try to persuade you to not, possibly do so much, because a lot of bands lately have been toning down their shows. Prime example of Paul. I mean, I think you look great. You look really cool. But I mean, it just when this first started coming out, my worst nightmare was to have Kiss come out and be like very normal and
How could we be normal?
Actually, in terms of the historical fact is when we were first signed by Music Alone. There was a tape. These 2 guys called Turner and Wise, who were producers at the time, recommended us to a brand new record company. They signed us sight unseen. And then the record company, Neil Bogart, went to see us in a showcase. We went to Latang's Ballet Studio, which held about 50 people at the most. And we went on, it came out of there like something that crawled out from under a rock. We went in there and just, with bombs, everything, scared the shit out of everybody. And then, very sincerely, the record company guy said, we really love your music, but the makeup's got to go. We basically told them to go fuck off. And that, in terms of the logic of it, pretty stupid, but it had to be our way or no way. We were in a band called Wicked Lester that was just signed to Epic Records. We basically said, this is not going anywhere. We're not going to make this record come out because we don't believe in it. So we self-destructed. We quit the band or fired the rest of the guys, any way you want to look at it, because doing something half-assed, even if it means on any level of success, if it doesn't make you happy, it means nothing. And if you're happy doing what you're doing, who cares what else is going on? Who the fuck cares? But you know that because you're doing this stuff and it makes you happy and that's the best thing.
Hi, how you doing? It's such a magical day, you know, with you guys being there and everything. I've waited all my life to meet you guys. You know, you get rumors all over the years, I'm sure, of course, you know, being as big as you were. And down in Tucson, I heard back in the Live 2 tour in '77 that you guys burned a ceiling and that your band from playing there. Is this true or not true?
Which tour?
The '77 Live 2 at the Convention Center in Tucson.
I gotta think back.
I heard
I know we
rumors.
brought the ceiling in England in '92 on Revenge Tour. Remember that one place? Remember had the chrome ceiling and that caught on fire?
You know what you're thinking of? You're not thinking of Tucson. You're thinking of San Antonio, Texas.
Well, the reason why I asked you.
Convention Center.
I'm sorry. The reason why I asked you is because you played at the McHale Center in Tucson for the silent tour. I was wondering why I wasn't at TCC. I just heard that with you.
Gene, did you come here when you guys played with Black Oak? Did you like their?
No, when Black Oak played. Yes.
Yeah, they played with you. They burned the curtains on fire.
Yeah, we used to open for all kinds of bands. Black Oak, Arkansas was one of them, and we were thrown off the tour because.
Got a question. Got a question for you now. There's two things we can do now. We can either keep answering questions, or you Okay, so to be fair, I'm gonna say, how many people want us to keep talking? How many people want us to play? It's awfully close. Let's get our guitars.
Thank you.
It's a lot more fair to everybody if you sit, because everybody isn't the same height. Everybody